Hi, my name is Suzan McDowell, and I'm president and CEO of Circle of One Marketing, in addition to the host of In the Circle with Suzanne, my bi weekly podcast where I get to talk to anybody I want to about whatever I want to. And I'm so excited. It's spring. It's my favorite time of year. It's about to be April next week, and I can't believe it's already March. I feel like I was just at a New Year's Eve party the other day. So it's March. It's at the end of March. We're about to walk into spring, and I am so excited. There's a lot of fun things coming on the horizon. It's the beginning of festival season and all of that. And I went to Jazz in the Gardens, my beautiful festival, and it was wonderful to go as a regular citizen. Anyway, we are here in festival season, and I am excited to be here with my friend and colleague, the handsome and talented Marco Mall, or Marco Moline. Moline. Hi, Marco.
Hey, Susan. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
Cool, man. Cool. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, first of all, it's Suzanne. I just want to point that out. There's a Z in the middle.
Yes, Suzanne.
Anybody who knows me will know why I stopped in the middle of this conversation to point that out.
Amen.
Okay, thanks. So, Marco.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Okay, we're going to start this show like I always do. You ready?
Sure.
You were born, and then what happened?
So I was born a long time ago. I'm not going to say the year, but I was born quite a bit of time ago. My father is Cuban-American, right? So he came over from Cuba.
Yes, you are
Right.
Afro-Latino.
Yeah, and then my mother's African-American. So they met in New Jersey, linked up. My dad was in the military.
How did he get to New Jersey?
He had to go through Spain, so he had to basically kind of like fly into Spain, stay in Spain at a like at a church basically for like 6 to 8 months, at like a boys camp.
What?
So they had to kind of like smuggle him out by the time before he was 13, because you had to join the military in Cuba when you were 13.
No, your dad was smuggled.
Yeah, him and his sister had to get out of there, right? So they went to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They were like basically underground doing paperwork for 6 to 8 months in Spain, and then they came over to New Jersey.
Wow, where your dad met your mom,
Right. Yeah.
who's American.
Yeah, it's African American.
From where?
From New Jersey.
Okay.
But our roots are from South Carolina.
Okay, all right. So you have to. Okay, so.
Yeah, so you know how it goes. Once upon a time we was picking stuff in South Carolina, made our way to New Jersey, and then boom. I don't know why they all still went back to South Carolina, but now they all live in South Carolina.
They live in South Carolina. Well, a lot of us came from Carolinas.
Right.
Some people got dropped off in the Carolinas. Some people got dropped off in Cuba. Some
Right.
people got dropped off in Jamaica.
Right.
And on and on and on. So basically, we're all the same people,
Exactly.
but just
Right.
dropped off in different
cultures,
places.
right.
So tell me about your childhood.
I mean, I grew up in Homestead, Florida City. Right. So
When did you leave New Jersey?
So no. They left New Jersey. My dad was in the military.
Okay.
I was born at an Air Force base in North Carolina. They moved down to Miami 2 months later.
So you're Miami.
Yeah, I grew up in Miami, right?
What?
So from like
From
2 months,
zero,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much, right? So then, I grew up in Homestead, Florida City.
Wow.
Later on, we moved into Overtown as well. So
Mhm.
we lived in Overtown and then Homestead in Florida City. And I mean, I'm a straight Miami Floridian. Grew
Wow.
up, in the water, fishing outside.
I feel like I should touch you or call the media or something. Oh my God, an actual Floridian man who came from here.
Super familiar. Yeah.
I come from like 52 other places. So I am like, wow, do people go like, when you tell them that you're Miami?
I mean, a lot of my friends are, right? But I know a lot of people, now a lot of my new friends aren't, right? Because they come from different places like recently, but.
I mean, South Florida is, if I remember from our radio days at Hot 105, we used to say, South Florida is 150% more ethnic than the rest of the country.
Absolutely.
So it's more than likely you're not born here.
Right. It's one of the most multicultural places in the world. I mean, London, LA, Miami, New York.
Wow. So where'd you go to high school?
So I'm supposed to go to Homestead High because I'm from Homestead,
Mm-hmm.
but my parents were able to get me into Braddock.
Oh,
I went to
okay.
Braddock High School in Kendall. That was good experience for me. I was in a
Wow.
math and science program. Left there. I ended up going to Florida A&M. Right. So first I went pre-med. I'm a rattler, right?
You're a
So
rattler.
first I was a pre-med at Miami-Dade College.
Oh.
So I graduated.
Pre-med?
Yeah, I was pre-med at
Did you
first.
say pre-med?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to explain that.
Yeah. So I mean, I was gonna be a doctor. My dad's whole family were doctors. in Cuba.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Right,
okay.
So like his
What
mom
kind of
was a
doctor?
doctor. I mean, different types, but
Okay,
really
doctor.
just overall doctors. Back
Doctors.
then, it was just you're a doctor, right? So like in Cuba, my grandma was a doctor, my aunt was a doctor, my great grandma was a doctor.
Oh, wow.
So like there's a
You're
family of
probably-
doctors,
yeah.
right? So I went to school pre-med, did a little internship in the hospital and realized I didn't want to be a doctor.
Ooh,
right?
Why? What happened?
I mean, for one, I don't like the energy in a hospital. Like, it's cold.
Yeah.
You're seeing people at their worst.
And it's desperate.
Yeah, and it's like,
Trauma.
I don't like that. Yeah, it's to me, it's not a very, I mean, you get to help people, but you're seeing people at their worst, and it's just, I'm a happy person. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy, loving, outgoing, and it's the opposite of that.
Oh
so,
my God.
And there's a couple different other reasons also, but that was one of the main reasons. And then I knew I should be in business. Like, I knew I should be like just out and doing my own thing.
So you knew was it being an entrepreneur, or you just knew you didn't want to be in the hospital?
I knew I didn't want to be in the hospital, and I thought I had the leadership and charisma and outgoing personality to be either in corporate or in entrepreneurship. So then I went to the best school one of the best schools in America for business, Florida A&M School of Business. So I went up to Florida A&M.
The highest of the 7 hills?
Yes, and I was played a little ball up there too, a little football. But when you're in SBI, it's kind of hard to be focused on football because they always got you going on internships.
What's the SBI?
School of Business Institution.
Oh, I did.
At Florida A&M.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's like, see, us FAMU Rattlers, we always just say it like we think everybody
Yes,
knows
I
it.
know. Yes,
Right.
I know. Yes, I know. I know, like Terry from United Bank, she's like, HBS. Like, what's HBS? Harvard Business School.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
You're from Harvard. You know that.
So everybody knows.
Yeah, well,
Harvard.
hook 'em horns.
Right.
UT.
Okay. That's dope. That's cool. But I mean, I loved going to FAM because it was you're unapologetically
black
for a certain amount of time that helps get you prepared to go into the workforce and deal with the stuff you deal with when you get in the workforce.
Well, my generation, not that I'm that old, but when I was growing up, it was like going to a black school is not a good thing. Going to a black school meant it was going to be less.
Right.
And so I really thought that. And I went to University of Texas at Austin. That's where my mom put me. It never occurred to me to go to HBCU, even though my parents met at an HBCU, Dillard and Fisk, across the street from each other.
Right.
That generation was like, go to this, white school, like, their ice is colder kind of thing. And then I was like, I had been in business for a minute, and 2 FAMU graduates came to work for me, Kiana Clark and like Shannon Petit. And so I was like, okay, whatever. This is years later, and those chicks were like this. They were like this, and I was like, oh, and I felt so stupid because I was wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so people who've gone to HBCUs, like, they have your kind of certainty. Yeah. And it comes with being with all black people.
Well, not just that, but also like when you go to school, like a school of business, I mean, they train you. Like, I mean, you have to wear a suit. School, right? Like you
for like 4 years.
Right. And like everything about your look, your style, your movement is critiqued. How you carry yourself, everything. And if you do anything out of pocket, they're gonna check you quick. So they're getting you ready.
Wow.
You're gonna get critiqued like that when you get in there.
How long is business school? Is it 2 years?
Well, it depends. It's 4 to 5. It's either 4 or 5 years.
Isn't a bachelor's 4? And then
and the MBA is 5.
5 years after the bachelor's?
No.
Oh,
1 more year after.
The total, right?
But the thing is a 5-year program and a 4-year program.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you got to start in the 5-year program or the 4-year program.
Oh, I would have been in the 20-day program.
Right.
I would have been like, can I be out next week?
I did the 4-year program. I didn't do the 5-year program. I did the 4-year program.
Oh my God. So 4 years of like walking in a suit and all of that whole thing. And
professional, you have to do a lot of pitches.
Corporate etiquette.
Everything. And you're doing full out, like, you start your own company. Like, there's a lot of mock work.
So wait, I would just like to point out, you could have been a doctor with his own private practice, which would have then made you a doctor and a business person.
Right.
Of course, you wouldn't have.
But even once again, when I say with medical, right, like the liabilities are so high. Like I didn't like the liabilities. I didn't like how people get sued when they're trying to help somebody.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You can't really work freely. There's a lot of things. I have a lot of friends that are doctors, and
my brother is a urologist, oncologist, anesthesiologist, pain manager. Brilliant. And he always talks about, he's like, is so litigious. He's like the fraud and the, it becomes to the point where, your hands are tied from a business perspective. So you can't even focus on the medical perspective.
Exactly. My uncle was head of medicine in LA.
Oh,
for like 20 years. Yeah. So he just retired recently. And, I go over there and we kick it, and,
he tells
me all kinds of stories, Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Hospital stories are crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, so then, after school, I stayed in Tallahassee a little bit because I had a couple, I was doing a lot of parties and concerts. I was managing a radio station, and I started opening a lot of companies, right? So I ended up with like about a dozen companies, right?
What?
Yeah, because I had like a crew of friends that were not the most employable people, really.
Okay.
And so I'd be like, what can you do? Right. And then he was like, oh, I can cut grass. So we learned landscape.
Gotcha.
I'm a barber. Started to open a barbershop, opened a salon, I opened restaurants. So I had all these little businesses.
Wow.
And one of the businesses, I also had a club. And one of the businesses, one of my DJs was T-Pain. Right. So then, and he was already an artist and he was making phenomenal music. And I already thought he was going to be a rock star. He was like 18.
Mr. Auto-Tune?
Yeah, he was 18 years old and he was already, he wasn't even using auto-tune then. He was a phenomenal singer, musician, play every instrument. He was just a genius. Musical genius, right? So I was like, this kid is a musical genius.
Got it.
So I said, I'm gonna start pushing, him, helping him out a little bit what I can. And then it wasn't just me, it was like a collective of like a lot of people in the Tallahassee really helping him out. And then, he popped. So when he popped, then I took like maybe a dozen of my best guys and we moved to Atlanta.
What?
Created Nappy Boy. So we bought an apartment building, moved into the apartment building, and then we started.
I thought we were just here to talk about films. We're not even at the film part yet.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, so we toured all over, pretty much America and a lot of the world for like
with T-Pain.
Yeah, for like 4 years, helping him with his, and not just him, but also other artists he had. So I was really helping with other artists and him as well, but more like other artists, So the label, right? We had the label, right? So
I actually had Teach on here.
Yeah.
Teach from on the world famous House of Mag.
Used to work with Pitt.
And he sat right there and told me a similar story, except it was Pitbull, right? Pitbull, and he met him outside a Billboard club and and then all of a sudden he's gone and he's in food, just like you.
Right.
So anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of us is a hustler mentality, right? So you just entrepreneur, businessman, hustler, like Teach is an amazing businessman.
That's West Africa, just so you know. That's Nigerian and Ghana.
It is. Right. And so so I had a great run, had a phenomenal time, met a lot of cool people, did a lot of cool things. But then I got to a point where I was, the music industry starting to wear me down a little bit. And I used to also, one of my businesses was a TV show back before, so I was already in film. So I wanted to get back into creative where I can control the narrative.
Gotcha.
So then,
film.
Right.
Your own films.
Right. So then me and my partner, Blah G, who I'd been working with for a couple of years at that time anyways, we jumped off Florida Film House. That was about 15, 16 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal.
Right. And we wanted to really shoot movies from the beginning. We knew we wanted to shoot movies.
This was you're like a pioneer. I mean, like you really established Black filmmaking here in South Florida.
I would think we were
early adopters.
Yeah, we were. There was like a couple productions that had been done here. Like my boy Finn said did some stuff, and different people had done some stuff. Like Shatas had been, done and stuff like like stuff like that. But there was nothing that was consistently probably going.
Or had an infrastructure really.
Right. So then me and Blah knew we couldn't. We asked people for money to shoot movies.
Oh, Blah.
My partner Blah.
Blah. Oh my God, I know a Blah, but Blah.
Yeah.
We talk. Okay, so yes. Yes, okay. And Blah got us Amara La Negra.
Yeah.
For the Afro. Okay.
Right.
Blah. Okay, good.
Yes,
Blah.
Yes. Right.
Blah.
So Blah was already one of the larger urban Latin producers, directors in his space.
Gotcha.
So he was shooting big Latin music videos like Daddy Yankee and all these music videos.
Yeah.
So he was already creating a path on his own, and I knew all the urban guys, all the hip hop guys.
Gotcha.
So we came together,
and
brought
genius.
the best of both worlds together, and we knew that we wanted to make Miami cultural stories because they're so unique.
Oh my God!
Because of this melting pot.
Miami is so it's like a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It makes me crazy, but then it's so fascinating.
It is.
And it's so its own place. I wrote this line. I write as well. I wrote this line. I said, Miami is a city that doesn't care what any other city thinks.
We're not really part of Florida. We're really not part of America. We're like an island.
The best part about Miami is if you get some binoculars, you can see America.
Yeah.
You can actually see America.
Right.
If you get some binoculars.
Right.
Miami is a completely different.
I tell people Miami's an island.
Weird bubble.
And it's even different. Like South Florida is an island by itself, but even Miami and Broward have a lot of differences.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like
Did
Miami,
you know that there's more Black people, more Black Caribbeans in Broward?
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that.
I live in Broward now, so I just moved to Broward recently, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
living in Broward.
South and then you went...
I mean, I still have my house in Homestead, but I live in Coral Springs as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So, it's been interesting for me because I'm realizing, like, even like right now, like I help with, like, I'm also on the Miami-Dade County board for film, right? And the tax incentive.
Oh my God, you got big time.
Well, no, the thing is, we can't. It's hard to get the tax incentive because a lot of the talent lives in Broward now.
Oh, voila. Oh,
so when you
I
film,
got you. So you got to
hire
go
your
film
crews,
in Broward if you want that money.
Well, you get Broward tax incentive, but to get the Miami tax incentive,
got to film here.
And you would put together a crew of South Floridians. A lot of them are from Broward. So you don't qualify.
Gotcha. Oh, because they track the employees.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you have Wynwood. You have your studio in Wynwood.
Yeah. So me, I'm good. Like because I'm just saying when it comes to tax incentive, right? So like,
wow.
So to go continue with the story, basically me and Blah linked up like 15, 16 years ago. We wanted to shoot movies. We couldn't get anybody to give us $250,000 to shoot a movie. We didn't have $250,000. So I said, look, we're going to have to go to work, raise the money, build the company, and then we'll get to the movies. So we had to take the first couple years and we started just shooting everybody's music video from Pitbull to Lil Wayne to
T-Pain's. And banking money.
Right, and then buying our own trucks and our gear and our cameras and our lights and all the stuff you need to underwrite the cost to shoot a movie. Then we put ourselves in position.
How long did that take?
That took us about 2.5, 3 years. And then we were also having to tour with artists, so we were like touring with Payne and Pitt and Flo Rida and all these different artists shooting their content. So we had different people we'd put out there. But the interesting thing about it was like how you were saying about being a pioneer. Our team was derived of young, talented, predominantly Black and brown kids that could not get internships or jobs with the bigger production companies here because they didn't need to speak Spanish or they just looked too urban.
Yeah, they weren't
right.
Yeah,
so like the bigger outfits, like the bigger like the studios like Telemundo and Univision, like they have a certain vibe that works for them.
Yes.
Right, and it's cool because culture. Everybody's going to be comfortable amongst their own team, right? Yeah. But there was nothing for certain people. And Florida Film House became that place.
Really? Like you guys are like a magnet for people who don't look like all the other people.
Right. And it really worked out where we were able to help a lot of young people get in the game.
Yeah.
And then go off and do phenomenal things. So a lot of them, so we've worked with, hundreds of young people now that are in the industry.
Wow.
And they had their start with us. And we were able to look back now. Like I was I was judging a film festival last night, and I'm watching the movies, and I'm like, I saw 4 of my talents that were young people that had worked with me in the past. I'm like, oh man, there goes Nadia. Oh look, there goes.
That's fun, right?
Yeah, it is.
Listen, it's got to be. I have there's a few people that have spurred, off of Circle, like LaShannon, the same one I was telling you about, has her own marketing company. Kiana, same marketing company. Flora, her event company. Melissa, her marketing company.
Right.
And I think about that, and I'm like, I'm so proud that some of my foolishness that I said or did was enough of an incentive for these brilliant women to go off and do something, right?
Absolutely.
So you see it, you must be like,
but that's why I did the youth program, right? Because at the end of the day, that's more valuable than money.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna we're gonna talk about your youth program,
right?
And then we're gonna talk about what you got going on this weekend in Broward.
Okay, cool. So you want me to go straight into it? First take.
What? Okay. So what's happened? What's the first thing you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I was gonna finish up what happened with the movies.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
No, I want to know.
So basically, we ended up shooting our first movie. We went to a big distribution company. I flew to Berlin. I flew to LA. I flew to all these different markets. Doing like my research on who I should do the distribution with. I went with a company that was actually a company I was supposedly lucky to like be able to work with because they were like kind of a big company for our first film.
Yeah.
And they jerked us, right?
What?
We never got $1.
You got scammed?
We never got $1. And I mean, this movie is phenomenal, called A Miami Love Story.
You got scammed.
I mean, do you know what happened? And they didn't do it on purpose. Because I'm actually still friends. I'm going to tell you this. I'm actually still friends with the owner of the distribution company.
Yeah.
A brother by the name of Strath Hamilton, Tri-Coast, right? Tri-Coast Worldwide. Big company. Very respected company. Been around for like over 30 years. The industry changed on him. When the industry was changing, it was just starting to go into streaming.
Gotcha.
So, and he had a big staff. He had like about $1 million a year overhead.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So basically at that time, he was having to redo his company and figure out what's going on. I got caught up in that. So I know my film made money, but my profits probably got eaten up by his expenses.
I mean, small business, that happens a lot. But
right.
Yeah, but still, that's not
it shouldn't
still
have been
not
my
okay. You
right,
did your
100%.
work. Did you show up and do what you were supposed to do?
So, I
Yeah.
mean, yes, I did. I mean,
Exactly.
I thought you meant like, did I go handle my business on some street stuff? And I was
No,
I
I'm
didn't
saying, did you?
I didn't take it there, right?
No. What I'm saying, did you show up and do the work that the man was supposed to pay you
Yeah,
for?
absolutely.
Did you do all of that? Yes, you
Yes.
totally owe. He
Yes.
totally owes you that money.
Yeah. So
Don't let him off the hook. I mean, I'm not friends with him.
I mean, you know, the thing is that I'm not saying it was acceptable. I'm just saying I kind
you
of
understand how
and
it
I kind of
happened.
saw it coming. I'm like, yo, the industry's
Gotcha.
changing. He has a lot of overhead. Maybe we should have
Gotcha.
went with this company.
Gotcha.
Now I've done enough research in that space because I go to the market every year, all the different markets, and I've become, I think, a specialist for distribution.
Yeah, so now you know. Yeah,
Right.
now you know.
And
You
I know.
and that he had to teach it to you.
Right.
He had
I
to
had to
teach
learn
it
it the
to
hard
you.
way. Very expensive lesson.
Yeah.
So now we've shot 10 films. We're definitely, making profit, and we've taken a lot of our profits and we've put them into our not-for-profit. That's how we launched our not-for-profit. I mean, we've had some help, like different city officials, like, Keon helped us in the beginning, Christine King, and, like the Omni-CR. Different people have always, like Francis Source, different people have seen what we're doing and supported us, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But,
it's a great mission what you're
Right.
doing. Is telling these young black stories about Miami.
right. And
You
teaching the kids how to do it, right? But the thing is, the biggest financial investor in Florida Film House Youth Program and Film Festival is Florida Film House.
Right, you're funding it. It's
right,
self-funded.
Right. And then we didn't even know what a 501c3 was until Yvette came around 10 years ago, right? So we were doing,
Harris?
yeah,
The genius.
yes,
The talented.
yes,
The beautiful.
yes. We didn't.
Yvette Harris.
We were just doing the program.
Yes, but then Yvette came on and she has all these ideas. She'd be like, "What about? And did you think about?" And then
You need to do it this way. You need to do it that
do
way.
that, blah, blah, blah. And yes.
And if you don't do it exactly how she says, she's gonna get you for it.
she'll
right?
beat you.
right.
Well, you already know the
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I'll be in Yvette role. So
Right.
yeah, but great. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You
So
go,
yeah,
girl.
it's been great. So I mean, we basically, we launched that, and then 10 years ago, we were helping a lot of young people. We were like, we need to help the kids. There's the one we're helping more college kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we need to take
want
it
to
down
help
a
the
notch.
kids. So
High
this
school.
program, the First Take Youth program, what are the ages?
Normally high school, like some middle school, like 13-year-olds, like 8th graders,
Mhm.
but predominantly it's like 13 to 18, 19, that age group. So
take
high
me through the
schoolers.
program. So I am a beautiful 13-year-old girl. Hi. And I
Yes.
show up, and then what happens?
So basically, you join the film program.
Mhm.
We give you background on acting, writing, producing, cinematography, editing,
Like classes in
like
this.
straight up classes. So you know a little bit about all of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go right into it where we group kids up and we shoot short films with them. We shoot.
And so you just take them on the
documentaries.
street, take them on the
Right.
road. Do they have to write scripts or?
Yeah, they got to do everything from
So-
A to Z.
How long does it take to go from hi to on the street?
So the first program we did was a week.
Oh,
And that's the one that Yvette helped us with also, right?
That's
so
quick.
right, so we literally met the kids on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and by Tuesday evening, we were shooting. And it was a spring break program, a straight week
Oh,
program.
wow. That's a quick.
So Monday was all
process.
day different workshops, learning about the different facets of film. Tuesday, we get into pre-production. We're
Mhm.
writing on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
We're shooting on Wednesday. We're shooting on Thursday and editing Thursday evening and screening it on Friday.
That's like 5 days.
Yes, and their family's gonna be there. The
Oh
community
my God,
comes
like
out.
a graduation.
Right, and it's a movie premiere.
Wow,
We
wow.
shot like 5 films the first time we did it
that must
with
be
50
so
kids.
exciting for those kids.
Yeah, so we had like 30 film professionals, 50 kids. We had 200 people came to see the movies.
And this was 10 years ago?
The first one was 10 years, about 10 or 11 years ago now.
Got it. And so the program has evolved.
Right.
What does it evolve to? Or is it the same program?
So it's the same program, but now it's an after-school program, and it's sometimes Saturday. So now we just work with about a dozen organizations. give or
Okay,
take, right? So we do it all over the place, but we do it in the Miami, Homestead, Florida City, and Naranja community,
Mm-hmm.
right? With Touching Miami with Love. We do it in Overtown with Touching Miami with Love, and we also work with some other programs in Overtown occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also work with, we're starting to work with Liberty City with Mega and
Mhm.
Liberty City Community Center.
Oh, good.
That's another program we're about to start working with. And then we also do Little Haiti Cultural Arts Center.
Got it.
That's in Miami. And then in Broward, we're working with the Boys and Girls Club in Sistrunk,
Mhm.
the YMCA in Sistrunk, and then Handy, which is off Andrews Avenue, kind of like right outside of Sistrunk.
So you go to these places and find out which of the kids, the constituents that they serve, want to be filmmakers.
Right. So we work with them. A lot of times they put 10 to 15 kids that they know are interested in film.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come there and we have 6 teachers now.
Got it. So you're like an add-on, like you plop in, like a pod, you plop in,
Right. So we have, 6 teachers They rotate amongst locations. Sometimes there's 2 to 3 teachers per 15 kids. And
Wow.
then they're making everything.
And this is all free of charge?
Yeah, everything's free.
And you pay for it?
Pretty much.
And
yeah.
But then it's also a 501c3. So
right. So we try to.
You're not making a profit.
It's never gonna never gonna get. We're so
Profit?
deep in the red.
What the hell?
We're so deep in the red at this point. I'm just trying to convince Blada because it's Black. What? How much we gonna spend?
Listen, what the hell is profit? What are you talking about? Profit? Yeah. Listen, I've done projects where we have made so little money that we've lost so much money that my logo should be on everything.
Right.
I feel like I'm literally a sponsor at this point, right?
Yeah.
So exactly all that because you put in more than you can even take out.
But like I said though, the thing is, what you get out of it is like we just shot. Okay, our last movie we shot called The Reject, starring Romeo Miller and Kamal Annabello. Kamal Annabello was in that first program.
Oh wow!
Right. Well, he wasn't in the first one. He was in the one like 5 or 6 years ago. But he was in First Take as a kid.
Yeah.
Now he was also in Moonlight. He also starred in now Reject with Romeo Miller.
Wow.
Right, which Romeo gave him an award 4 years ago on stage at Urban Film Festival, and he said, "One day I'm going to work with you." Romeo said,
now
cool.
Here we are.
Here we are now, full scale.
Full circle. Yeah.
Boom. Now Kamal's hosting the event with me this weekend.
Wow.
Because now he's like kind of like, successful.
He's like become a thing, like a personality.
Right. And then he also now just directed his first film as well. So like to see him now also getting into directing, and in his film is a bunch of our other talents.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all full
it's a network. It's a family.
Right.
It's a family. I understand.
Right. And it's just phenomenal to see the kids go full circle now.
So what so this program that you do with Touching Miami with Love, and how long is that program? It's an after-school program, so it's an entire semester?
Oh, even like in the summer, we keep going.
Are there different cohorts?
Yeah, basically. There's different locations with different groups of kids. And then we bring them together. Like this weekend, we're bringing all of our Broward kids together.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to do the event. We're going to show their films. I have Alan Maldonado coming. I have Kamal Annabello. The film commissioner, Sandy Leiterman, will be coming there. Ken Sorensen, who's the commissioner in Broward.
Yeah.
He'll be coming by. And so collectively, we'll celebrate these kids' work. We'll talk to them. We'll put them on stage, and tell them how was the experience for you. And then Alan Maldonado will tell them, how, he's a big actor and writer. He was writer on Blackish and a bunch of other things. And he'll tell how his path was.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll motivate them to stay focused.
Spark somebody. Yeah.
Right. And then we'll take photos and hang out.
It's all about the inspiration.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you see somebody that can do it and you're brave enough, you can go, well, I can do that. You know what I mean? If you're brave enough, you can. If you find somebody that, that's already doing it the way you want to.
Right.
So tell me about the festival this weekend.
Okay, so we're doing so the Friday event is part of the South Florida Film Forum, right? But it isn't right now because South Florida Film Forum is something that Broward County as like film office and the commissioners and everybody came together to bring this event to Broward County to help the local Broward County filmmakers, right? So we have Saturday and Sunday. We're doing it at Mad Arts in Dania. It's going to be so it's an event you have to pay to go to, but there's an opportunity for people that live in what they call prosperity zip codes to come to the event for free if they can show proof of that, right? Nice. So it's helping everybody once again, and we're bringing in like 15 of the greatest minds I would say in film.
Where is it?
It's going to be in Dania at Mad Arts.
Oh, Mad Arts is a location.
Yes.
I thought it was okay. I didn't realize.
Phenomenal location. Such a cool
Where
place.
Exactly?
In Dania.
Yeah, what's the address? You don't know the address.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's okay. No, it's great. Mad Arts. Google it.
Right. I got it right here.
Okay, Mad Arts.
Yeah. So basically, we're doing that event, and
what's the time? Give me the time.
That's going to be basically from noon to 10 every day, Saturday and Sunday.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be we're looking at it'll probably be like 1,000 people. And but the thing is, we have like for instance, we have Alexis Garcia. That's one of the guests that's coming, right? Alexis Garcia was head of content for William Morris Endeavor.
Oh, wow.
For like a dozen years.
Wow,
shot like over 40
knows
movies.
the industry.
I mean, he's a genius in this. And now he just moved back to South Florida. He's from Miami.
Got it. So now you have a new treasure.
Right.
In film.
Right. And now you're going to meet.
To.
Right. And you're going to meet him. He's going to speak on the panel. Then he's going to hang out.
Yeah.
And you can talk to him about whatever helps you and da-da-da. And you probably get his contact. And he's just cool like that. And then, there's 15 executives like that. A lot of
doors can open.
Right. And it's a great event. Anybody who wants to be in film, this is a must-go-to event.
Okay. What's the website for both of these things?
So SouthFloridaFilmForum.com.
SouthFloridaFilmForum.com, which is this Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
March 29th and 30th.
Yep.
And then
firsttakeyouth.com is the film festivals. First Takes film website.
Yeah, so First Take Film Festival.
Firsttakeyouth.com.
Firsttakeyouth.com. And that's for the after school program.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Marco Molinette.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Suzanne. And I appreciate you bringing me on and building this platform for people to come out and talk to the community. And anybody that wants to be in film, youth, please come hit us up. Anybody that's already in film, hit us up. Social media, talk to us. We talk back. We're very social. We love working with different people, and even anything we can do to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? If they're telling the stories, let's tell the stories. Get them out there.
All right. Thank you. We're done. It's a wrap.